Hello everyone, and welcome to the first impressions video of the early access version of Interstellar Marines, currently available on the Steam store. So, right away, what is the early access version? The early access version is not a vertical slice from the finished product, as this title is still heavily under development. What this is essentially a purchasable tech demo designed to give you some of the core experiences of which to expect from the final product. Right now it showcases the dynamic lighting and how it reacts with the environment, including real-time weather changes as well, and most importantly I feel the sound design to deliver what is currently the most immersive experience available. The early access version of this game is really the base skeleton of the game. ZeroPoint Interactive have promised more updates in the way of weapons, levels, character customization options, bug fixes, and various other tropes and gameplay tweaks throughout its release, and eventual development into what they call the Prologue edition of the game. So what we're looking at now is the main menu, and kind of the only menu actually. From here you can access some of the features such as multiplayer levels in a single player format, no enemy AI, just you on your own. You have a sandbox which demonstrates the ragdoll physics and destructible dynamic lighting, all of which can be found by playing the multiplayer. I don't really know why it was included, to be honest, when they could have swapped that out with one of their web browser demos such as the Vault, Bullseye or Running Man. A link to those will be added in the description, but you do need to register on their site in order to play them. With that said, they are worth checking out. You also have Co-op Poster, which is a pre-animated real-time model viewer, where you can switch out your graphics settings in real time, with turning things on and off such as reflections, anti-aliasing, fog depth, bloom and so on. You can see all that at work right here as I go through and I turn them off, numbers from 8 to 1. But it also gives you kind of a sneak peek at innovations to come in later updates. For example, the weaponry and armour you can see on this squad of soldiers. And this is really where Interstellar Marines Early Access gets quite deep in terms of subtext, because it isn't necessarily just showcasing how the lighting works, how the environment reacts to the dynamic weather. It's also feeding us information, such as ZeroPoint's inspirations. They have already stated that their big three influences are Half-Life, System Shock 2, and Rainbow Six 3 Raven Shield. Now, everything I'm about to say is completely theoretical and hypothesizing, but they have also directly hinted, I'm quite sure, towards the Alien franchise as another source of inspiration, by naming their servers after the spacecrafts featured in that movie, like the Nostromo from Ridley Scott's Alien, the Sulaco from James Cameron's Aliens, and Auriga from Jean-Pierre Jeunet's Alien Resurrection. And just in case you're wondering, Carcharodon is referencing the mega shark Carcharocles megalodon, which was coined by scientists as the apex predator of its time. Again, hearkening to the direct reference of the enemies that we may well be facing in the Prologue edition of Interstellar Marines. Not only that, but when you go into the co-op poster, they are there in the foreground and the background, surrounding the group of soldiers as you've already seen. And finally, they also called their dropship in the concept art the Megalodon, so I'll leave that for you to conclude for yourself. So what about the actual physical content that you can interact with? Well, the multiplayer demo really sort of speaks its own volumes. The Unity engine is very nice, it's very simplistic. It doesn't require a great level of high fidelity graphics. It's very friendly for those who don't have a monster PC or anything like that. The Unity engine can also be streamed from a web browser, which is probably one of the best things about it, because that way you can pretty much access the game anytime, so long as you have internet access. One of the good features in the settings menu is also network smoothing, which increases or decreases visual lag between players who are opposing each other from different regions. This means you'll see a lot less teleporting or other common issues found when playing with other people over the internet. It has, however, led to players believing that the hitboxes are sort of broken, or they don't work, or the bullets don't always connect with the players or something like that. That's not due to the hitboxes being broken, that is simply down to the network smoothing, which, rather than having laggy or teleporting opponents, just makes it appear as though you're a shit shot. And I do sympathise, because there are plenty of times where I had the drop on my opponent and I'd pretty much emptied an entire clip into him to no effect, and he simply turns around and shoots me dead. There is also every now and then the odd audio bug which seems to sort of rear its ugly head and breaks the immersion of the game, and that's particularly when you lift your visor and the audio sort of seems to distort. I mean, whether it is a bug or not, I'm not too sure, to be honest. It does appear as though it's a bug, but specifically a multiplayer bug. But like I said, it can be quite annoying, because you can be quite immersed in the sound design and how well everything sort of plays and how everything sounds, and then you'll lift your visor for, just for the sake of doing it. And then suddenly all that immersion is just completely shattered. It just appears as though humans in the future are losing the ability of being able to hear anything naturally without the need of some kind of technology or something. But really, at the end of the day, those are my only major gripes with the tech demo as it is. As long as when you purchase it, you don't go into it expecting a demo of the final product, and there's still a lot to be added into it, like features like jump and leaning and crouching, but I think that was left out intentionally, really, by the developers. I think the ultimate idea at the moment is just to introduce you to, again, as I said right at the very beginning, the sound design, the dynamic lighting, and really just getting some basic bug fixes and play testing, giving you something to look forward to. So would I recommend this $11.99 or $20.99 tech demo to the casual gamer? No, I wouldn't. It's not a demo for the final game, it's still very much a work in progress. I would recommend it only to the gamers actively following the game who would like to playtest and help ZeroPoint Interactive develop the best game they possibly can. The only catch-22 though, it does require your support for it to be completed at all. It's an intriguing look into what is on the way, and it doesn't have a lackluster approach of informing you, and it does subversively drop information constantly. Will you believe for the love of the game? I do. Please leave comments below, even if you don't support the game, and let the world know what you think. Thanks very much for listening. This has been Touchstone Ensemble, Interstellar Marines.